Welcome to the Gamesthetic Weekly Wrap-Up. I'm Alex Light, you're the viewer. Hopefully you're having a great day. You look great today. Make sure to take your vitamins. Make sure to drink some water. And comment down below how you're doing. I want to know. Hopefully you're having a great day. And do all the things that content creators say to do with the description. And let's jump into it. First thing I've got is GTA news. Of course, last week we had the news that the game is being delayed out of this year, but with an actual release date now of May 26, 26. But with that, then we got a shadow drop trailer earlier this week. Few things. Number one, I think that's a brilliant strategy to kind of do of delay the game. Everyone's upset. Drop a trailer without telling anyone you're dropping the trailer and just get people kind of talking about the game again. I saw someone else on Twitter point this out to, like a former Rockstar executive or something like that. Said it's a great strategy. That was what I thought too, because my younger brother-in-law immediately was texting me about the delay and then immediately texting me about the trailer. And that was kind of my first thought is like, well, the tone has immediately shifted from this sucks to oh wow this looks great or whatever, right? So honestly, smart play to delay the game and then immediately launch a trailer. The other thing that I want to shout out is I really appreciate the fact that this entire trailer is shot on a base edition PS5. And I just like that because me and the boys at Gamesthetic, we are very adamant that the PS5 Pro is a massive waste of money because the PS5 has still yet to be pushed to its limits. Now, let me clarify. If you only play PlayStation, if that is your only way to play video games, then yes, I can totally see why you would justify a PS5 Pro. But the PS5 Pro doesn't make sense as an upgrade for like over 80% of the population, unlike the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, which that made sense because 4K was becoming more readily available. The PS5 Pro doesn't really make a lot of sense. So having GTA 6 look as great as it did on the base PS5 is Rockstar further delivering like, hey, we can get so much out of the current hardware. You know, we don't have to go to the PS5 Pro. So that's something I just took away from it. But obviously there's a lot of changes from, like, let's say character design. I know a lot of people are pointing out what Jason looked like originally, what Jason looks like now, and just the overall vibe of everything. People are stoked about it. Looks great. It's gonna obviously probably win Game of the Year next year, but hey, at least it got delayed out this year, so my boy Expedition 33 can win Game of the Year this year. But it looks great. Looks awesome. Looks great. I'm not a massive GTA fan. I never really have been. I enjoyed, a stretch of them with 3, Vice City, San Andreas, and 4. Kind of fell off with 5 and haven't really gotten into 5 per se over the last 10 years that it's been out. But GTA 6 looks great. Can't wait to actually see more, like maybe extended gameplay. I love that all the cutscenes they showed was all in engine, so that's what the game is also going to look like. So that's great. Now I just want to see kind of what the gameplay is going to look like in action. So overall, it looks great. Comment down below your thoughts on it. How stoked are you? I mean, in my mind, just let Rockstar cook, let them do their thing, and we're going to continue to see more changes leading up to the release. Just more fine-tuning and making everything just look even better. I also loved how at the beginning of the trailer, when the dude came up and asked Jason what he's doing, he's like, oh, just fixing some leaks. 10 out of 10 on Rockstar's part. Really appreciated that nod, baby. Really appreciated that joke. Next thing I've got is with Palworld. So there's an update with the ongoing Palworld versus Nintendo lawsuit where Nintendo is suing them for multiple patent infringements, with a new update from Palworld where you can no longer glide on your pals. You have to keep a glider in your inventory going forward because of, I guess, the patents that Palworld infringed on, which a lot of people then immediately turn. It's just like, wow, Nintendo, you're a complete scumbag for this. And honestly, as me and the guys have talked about, some of the patents that Nintendo have put in, they're so dang vague that this is kind of shitty. I feel like there's more games that also have similar mechanics like this. It's just Palworld is a legitimate threat to Pokemon, so that's why Palworld is the one really getting hit. So I mean, sucks for Palworld that all these changes are going to have to continue to happen. We already had the one update in the last year where you can no longer summon the pals out of the spheres, whatever, which, one question that me and the guys had is like, well, couldn't you just change the item that they're kept in to like a cube or something like that? Would that still be infringing on the patent? Instead of throwing the sphere out, is there another way to get them out, kind of like how they did where they just appear, right? And I guess it's the same thing with gliding on a PAL. I mean, again, that feels super vague and kind of shitty, but I mean, if they patent it, they patent it. But it's just kind of a shitty patent. It just goes to show you can really patent anything. But overall, the general consensus of this is everyone is very anti-Nintendo in this situation, which I guess I can totally understand because it is very vague and very just like, ew, this is gross. Let me know your thoughts on that too. We also had Gears of War Reloaded announced this week, which is a remaster of the first game, set to come out on August 26th of this year, and it will be coming to PlayStation 5. So, boys, it's coming. Halo is coming to PlayStation. they're saving the big one for last. All right, we had Forza here recently. Now we've got Gears. Now it's time for Halo. And I do also want to go ahead and get ahead of this. I'm very well aware that Gears 1 was on the PS3. All right, because that's the boat that I've been in, is people on Twitter is like, oh my gosh, Gears is on PlayStation for the first time ever. I'm like, well, first time ever as a Microsoft property, yes, but technically no, because the first one was on the PS3 before it was a Microsoft IP. You get the point. But no, this is a big deal. This further is delivering the whole idea that Xbox is becoming a publishing company. Obviously, hardware sales are down. We just had the news last week of the hardware cost going up. The prices are ridiculous now for the Xbox Series X, the Series S. I mean, the 2 terabyte Xbox Series X is like $720. That's crazy. So they are really leaning more to publishing. They're just wanting people to play their games versus trying to push consoles and for people to play their games that way. You know, I mean, heck, I just saw a statistic where it's like just recently the top 3 games of the month best sold on PlayStation were all Xbox properties. It was like Forza, it was Oblivion Remastered, and God, what was the other one? It might have been Indiana Jones. I can't remember. But either way, like the top 3 were all Xbox properties, and that's what they're going to further try to push. It's just more people to play the games, right? So it's a matter of time. Starfield's going to come there. I know that's not, I know that's not one of the, the creme de la creme IPs. It's still a new IP, still growing, but that's going to come over there. Obviously, we can very easily bank on like the next Elder Scrolls coming over, but the last big dog left of Halo is going to be coming over to PlayStation at some point too. And as a longtime Halo fan, I got my chief and a wood chief right behind me. Longtime Halo fan, just go ahead and do it, man. It really sucks to see what Halo has become from 4 to Infinite, and just like where it's like kind of a groan versus an excitement. Very excited for Halo Studios. I'm excited to get away from the Slip Space engine and go to Unreal 5. That's all super exciting, but let's really give Infinite a jolt of energy. Move it over to the PlayStation. Just go ahead and continue to build up Halo and build it back to being a juggernaut. And if time goes on and Xbox just becomes strictly a publishing company like what Sega did when Sega bowed out of the console race, then you know what? That's fine, because I mean, they're publishing great games right now. There's a lot of great stuff coming out from Xbox. You can hate on the hardware all you want, whatever, but there is good games coming out from Xbox, and Gears of War Reloaded coming to the PlayStation, coming to Steam, coming to Xbox, all of that. It's sick. And it's really exciting. I wish it would have just been like a Master Chief Collection where it would have had like the first 3 games plus maybe Judgment. Would have preferred that, especially the first 3. 2 and 3 were more so my favorites in terms of the multiplayer, but 1 is also still great, and I can't wait to go back to it. Be running some other stuff. We got the latest update of Switch sales. This is as of March 31st is the update. So the console has now passed 152 million units sold. Would shout out to that, continuing to move up the ladder. And then one little fun fact to shout out when it comes to the software list, because there's not a lot of changes in there, is Scarlet and Violet is now at 26.79 million, which has passed Sword and Shield, and it's now the second all-time for Pokemon games, only behind the OGs, and it's 6th overall on the list. Other than that, the list is pretty straightforward. It's still Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, pack-in title, or sometimes pack-in title. At number 1, you had Animal Crossing New Horizons, you got Smash, Breath of the Wild, Odyssey, Pokemon. You got the standards, right? Standards you would expect. Tears of the Kingdom still only setting about 21 million, though. That's kind of interesting, while Breath of the Wild setting about 32. So, I don't know. If you're into sales stuff, let me know your thoughts. We did get an official release date for Mafia The Old Country before the release date was just kind of leaked out there, but they now have confirmed that it is that August 8th release date. And they've also confirmed a couple details that I think are perfectly fine. That it won't be open world, and instead it's going to be more linear and narrative focused. And it's only going to be $50. I think that is the best possible play for Mafia The Old Country. because as this being an established title that people do love, I have the Mafia trilogy. It's fun. I enjoy it, but it's not like selling like hotcakes, right? It's not the most heralded games in the history of gaming, right? They're good games. People like them. They are fun. I think sending this thing out there with a higher price tag, humongous open world or whatever, I'll be honest, I think you're sending it out to die. $50 price point, more enticing for people to try. It being not open world, is more linear, narrative focused, whatever, more enticing for people to try. I think something like that is good for the Mafia IP. So I'm here for it. Let's go. I'm here for it. EA says they have no plans to charge $80 games. Okay, I mean, with the amount of like microtransactions they've got, I mean, all right, fair enough. I don't buy this though. I don't buy this for a damn second. I don't think anyone else does. This Stranding 2 is getting a DualSense controller, and honestly, it looks kind of ugly. So that's just my opinion on it. But if you want to pick it up, I think it might be up for pre-order now. The Xbox and ASUS Handheld has been leaked. The Project Kenan, I believe, or Kenan, whatever it's called. So, I mean, cool. I still want to see a native Xbox handheld, and which I think is going to happen with the next Xbox generation. But an Xbox version of like a handheld, I mean, okay. I mean, that's cool, I guess. Shout out. I mean, if it's just a Game Pass device, don't really give a shit. But if I can play like my digital library as well, okay. I mean, that's the step in the right direction. You know what I mean? That's a step in the right direction to get to a full-blown Xbox handheld with the next console. So, I mean, we'll see how it goes whenever it gets officially revealed. Hey, the Midnight Walk came out this week, and it came out with some pretty solid review scores. Came in about like an 80 on Metacritic, which I predicted, by the way. If you want to go check out my Metacritic monthly predictions, I do that at the beginning of every month. I had a pretty damn good April. And we'll see how I continue to do for May, but you should subscribe to the channel and follow along for that. But this game looks really cool, man. It's got a very, really sick visual art style. There's a lot of things about it that kind of intrigues me. So this is one that I want to check out. It's only like $40 on the PlayStation Store, like $35 on Steam. I think this one is worth a pickup, worth a try if you're into like the horror, like adventure games. It just looks really cool, man. Like the claymation art style. I'm pretty excited to see how the review scores went. Pretty pumped up for it. Ready to give it a shot. Last thing I've got is involving my game of the year, Expedition 33. Anytime I get to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. So the official Sandfall, or the official Expedition Twitter account, did put out that the soundtrack is booming. It was #1 on Billboard's classical album chart and crossover album chart, #13 on the official soundtrack album chart, and #31 on the official album download chart. And then it's over 18 million streams since launch, which, not surprised, because that soundtrack is a straight banger beginning to end. The music in this game is incredible. I just want to shout this out because I love this game so much. This game is so good. I love it. It's my game of the year. I don't think anything's going to top it personally. It's because it's become one of my favorite games ever. I'm about to beat it finally, and I'm already ready to start a second playthrough. I've had such a great time. Definitely recommend listening to the soundtrack. The soundtrack is straight gas. And to end us on the Expedition, 33 conversation, I think it's always important for us to get a little SK in our life, because SK is so wholesome and great, and we love him, and he is amazing. So just remember, I too am woo, but I also we. So the we balances out the woo. Take that to heart, ladies and gentlemen. That is a very important, information, life advice to get from our beloved SQ. So shout out. If you made it all the way to the end, I appreciate the hell out of you. Now that we're at the end of the video, go ahead and click off, whatever. I'm going to do my content creation, attempt of shouting things out. So if you're going to get out of here, have a great day. Thank you. But if you're going to stick around, hey, make sure to subscribe to the channel, be a friend, tell a friend, and make sure to listen to Gamesthetic. We go live every single Saturday around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we talk about a few key big topics and we really dive into it, whether it's games we're playing or whatever. And then we go through a weekly wrap-up similar to this, where we speed run a lot of topics that happen through the week, and then we always end things with a Gamesthetic Game of the Week. So come on by, hang out with us, listen to the show, listen to it after the fact, whatever you want to do. If you want to support us further, Patreon is a great way to do so. We'd really appreciate the extra support, as well as the extra support over at Agent Inc., Sparky3 Shop, and Rogue Energy. Promo code Sparky3 for 10% off over at Rogue Energy. Shout out to that. That's pretty cool. Go listen to my other shows, like a Terrible Football Show, a Terrible Wrestling Show. We'd appreciate that support over at the Terrible Sports Network. Not everything will be called a terrible, I promise. It's going to change eventually. And I think that's it. I can't think of anything else. Oh yeah, you know, like I said earlier, check out the Metacritic predictions. See how I do. Call me an idiot if I got things wrong. Check out my, you know, Gamesthetic game shelf, whatever shorts that I do like almost every Sunday, except I think I missed this last Sunday. It's whatever. I'll get one out. No big deal. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. Make sure to drink some water, take your vitamins. Have a great day. Love you. Bye.